He made a film attacking Islam, then read the Quran and broke down in tears. True story of Arnaud van Doorn. Let me tell you a story you might find hard to believe. A story that begins with hate and ends with tears, redemption, and a powerful declaration of faith. It's about a man named Arnaud van Doorn, a Dutch politician, a former far-right figure in the Netherlands, and, believe it or not, the producer of a film that openly insulted the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. That film was called Fitna, and when it came out, it sparked a wave of anger and pain across the Muslim world. Millions took to the streets in protest. They were heartbroken, not just because it attacked their religion, but because it tried to tarnish the image of the man they loved the most, their prophet. At the time, Arnaud didn't care. In fact, he was proud of it. He was a key member of the far-right Party for Freedom in the Netherlands, a political group whose very identity revolved around attacking Islam and spreading fear about Muslims. But here's where the story takes a turn. Months after the outrage, something started to stir inside Arnaud. People were contacting him, not with violence, not with threats, but with questions, reflections, even kindness. Some Muslims reached out and simply asked him, "Have you actually read the Quran you're attacking?" Out of curiosity, or maybe even just to justify himself, Arnaud decided to open a copy of the Quran. At first, it was just to skim it, maybe to find more reasons to criticize. But instead, he found himself unable to put it down. He started reading every night. One verse led to another. The words, he said, spoke to his heart. And then, one night, he came across verses 36 through 40 from Surah An-Nisa, the chapter of women. Worship Allah and associate nothing with Him. Be kind to your parents, to relatives, orphans, the needy, your close neighbors, and even the distant ones. Indeed, Allah does not like the arrogant, the boastful, and Allah does not wrong anyone, not even the weight of an atom. He read those verses, and something broke inside him. Tears streamed down his face. He said, "I had spent years attacking this religion, but here it was, speaking about justice, mercy, and humility in ways I had never heard before." And then came the moment of truth. Arnaud walked into a mosque. He sat quietly. He spoke with the imam. And then he stood up in front of the congregation. With his voice trembling and eyes full of tears, he said, "Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulallah. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and that Muhammad is his messenger." He had entered Islam. He later said, "When I said those words, I felt a hand on my shoulder, a warmth I've never felt before. It was as if God himself was welcoming me home." This is the same man who once helped produce a film mocking the faith. Now, standing in a mosque as a believer, his heart completely changed. And the story doesn't stop there. He went on to perform Umrah in Mecca, the sacred pilgrimage. He began giving talks across the world, telling people, "Don't judge Islam by the media, don't judge it by politics. Read the Quran for yourself. Look at the life of the Prophet." I did, and it changed my life. Even more incredible, his son also accepted Islam, inspired by his father's transformation. Today, Arnaud van Doorn dedicates his life to spreading understanding about Islam, from hate to love, from mockery to worship. It's a reminder to all of us, no one is beyond the reach of God's mercy. Sometimes the ones who fight the truth the hardest are the ones closest to finding it. So, if you're watching this and you've ever had doubts about Islam, I challenge you. Read the Quran, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of seeking. Because like Arnaud van Doorn, you just might find something that changes your life forever.